Everyone, we're back with RodaTalks. My name is Renan. You guys know me. And this time, I'm with the two times European medalist and Paris Olympian, Zoja Székely from Hungary. Hi, Zoya.
Hi
Welcome to
guys.
RodaTalks.
Hi.
Did I pronounce it well? Székely, or
Székely. It's pretty close, yeah. But
okay,
we
I, I,
everyone
I,
calls me everyone just calls me Zoya.
okay, perfect. I mean, I tried to pronounce Hungarian, super difficult.
Yeah, it is. It's one of the most difficult languages, I guess.
All right, so welcome to our podcast, here on our podcast, and it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure for me too.
Well, let's start with the beginning. How did you start with gymnastics, and how was your first contact with the sport?
Well, when I was little, I've always been like super. I had so much energy. Like I was just going around in the house, flipping and everything. And my parents asked me if I would like to do some sports like gymnastics. It wasn't gymnastics first. It was something called fitness, and which is like not an Olympic sport. It's just like dancing, like jumping around and stuff like that. But I really enjoyed myself there, so I started it when I was 5 years old, and I did it until I was eight, so for 3 years. And I just find out, and my coaches find out that I'm pretty talented on what I do. And I just saw that I'm always like win. Like I go to competitions and I didn't even had a silver medal, just gold medal. It's a little bit like bad thing to say that it was boring, but it was like I wanted to go more trainings. I still had so much energy. I felt like it's not enough for me. So I asked my parents that what is the sport that can take away my energy and where can I be like better, because I felt myself I'm at the maximum where I'm at right now, so in this fitness stuff. And my mom told me that it's probably going to be gymnastics, so we will see what happens. We go to a training. So I was eight when I first entered the gym. It's pretty late because usually gymnasts start the sport earlier, like 4 or 3 years old. So I was pretty old that time, and so I go in and I loved what I saw because there were so many other girls at the same age as me, and I saw them and they were much better than me, and they were like doing amazing stuff. And I felt like, yeah, I'm in a good place because I see
Challenge
competition.
accepted.
Yeah, yeah, and I saw them and I was like, I want to do the same thing as they do. I want to be better than them, and they were amazing already. They were in the national team and everything. So I was like, yeah, I'm in a good place because I found some competitions, so it won't be that easy anymore to just win all the competitions. So I started, and it wasn't an easy start because they wanted to send me into hobby gymnastics because I was 8 years old already. So they didn't think that I can like be in the same level soon as the other girls are. And so they sent me to hobby gymnastics. So I trained there for 2 days, and they find out that I'm way better than the hobby level.
Yeah.
And my current coach saw me. He was already not coaching anymore, just go sometimes in the gym. And he saw a new girl. He was like, hi. Introduced himself to me, and he said he want to check me out, like what can I do. He just asked me simple stuff like just do a handstand, do a cartwheel, this some things like that. And I really wanted to do good. I didn't know who he is, but I was like, okay, he could be a pretty good coach, so I can show myself a little more. And the end of my first training with him, I was alone. He came to my parents and told them that this girl is going to be a really big gymnast, and he is going to be capable of doing so many things, especially on the uneven bars. That was after my first day. And my parents were like, okay. They didn't really understand what's going on because they just put me in, like, see what happens. I'm having fun. And this is how it started. And after half year, I I find myself in the same level as the national team, especially on bars. I could even do more than them. And after half year, every single coach who rejected me before were asking me to, okay, now you can join our team. We see that you are like good. And my coach told them that if you didn't need her back then I'm not going to give you her right now. So I'm still with him, and I'm still with my other coach who just joined in the very beginning. So yeah, we are working together, and this is pretty much how I started gymnastics, and I'm still stuck in it. So I'm pretty enjoying myself here.
Oh, that's amazing. I don't know if you know about it, but also like Flavia from Brazil, she started 9 years old. So it was she
I
also
didn't even
started.
know that. Oh my
Yeah, she
gosh.
started a bit late as well. And our first world champion, Daiane dos Santos, she started at 11, and she was found in a park.
Oh my God. So my
Yeah.
story is not even that crazy anymore to hear those.
No, no, it's like it's so good to know that there are some really good gymnasts that start later, because it's not like the rule, because even though like
Yeah.
it's better to start earlier, it's not like the
It's never
rule.
too late. I say it's never too late. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's super impressive, because my second question is about your first Europeans as a junior, and you were 15 years old, right? In Glasgow,
Glasgow, yeah.
and you made an impressive set with three releases on uneven bars, and it was just like 7 years after you started gymnastics.
Yeah, yeah, that is pretty much my profession, that I can learn skills on bars like way too easy, and I find it scary
Yeah.
because I just don't know, I feel the air. And if you ask me about floor, I can say the completely opposite. Like I even lost myself in a completely full twist, not even double. But on bars, I don't know why I just feel like I know what do I have to do. So if it comes to a new skill, it's motivate me so much that I want to learn that skill like right now today. So even when I was younger, I had so many upcoming skills to learn. So it was amazing for me, because right now it's a bit harder because you can't say that you know everything, but almost. So yeah, there is not too many skills more that I can learn, more like connections and everything, more cleaning. But when I was younger, I really loved like learning new skills. And do you know the Jaeger salto?
Yeah.
I learned it until 3 days. So
Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah, it's pretty fast. Yeah, so that was back then. That was my profession, that I could learn skills pretty easily. The hardest thing was the execution for me. It still is, basically, because we didn't have too much time. I started late, so we were just going for skills, 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 skills. Like do the hardest routine that you can do, and we didn't really have that much time to focus on like do it with perfect execution. Obviously later it cleaned up pretty well. I think I'm in a really good place right now. I still have so much to improve and everything, but I feel like we're getting somewhere with it now.
Yes.
So yeah, yeah, with three releases, yeah, I felt like I'm here. I have to do what I can do.
Exactly. And you made the finals, right? You didn't medal, but you got 13.666, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Yeah.
And you placed sixth place.
Yeah.
And how was it for you? Like your first Europeans as a junior, and you're already like making bars final, which was your favorite event?
Yeah, a year before I was really disappointed because there were the Youth Olympic Games, and I was gonna go there. And I mean, I and the two other teammates were like capable of go there, so we were like competing against each other. And I felt like I was in a really good shape. I couldn't wait to finally, I'm a junior, finally I can go to international competitions, big competitions and everything. And I had an injury right before the competition, so I wasn't able to go, and that was pretty heartbreaking. And I knew that my only chance in junior to show myself is going to be the Europeans, and I just couldn't wait for that competition, especially on bars. Obviously, I was nervous and everything, but we didn't know like what to expect, you know. So
Yes.
I was just going there and just do what I can, and we will see like how it goes. Like back in home, every coaches and everyone was telling us just do what we can do, and but they were also telling us that our routines are like good. So if we do good, we can have high results, and this is how our mindset was. That if probably we do our best, we can get really close to a medal. So obviously before the competitions that was the goal, but when we go there and saw the qualifications and saw how good the international gymnastics is, we just find it so like blessed that we can say that we are in the same level as them. So when we saw the Italian girls, the Russian girls, and everyone, many of them are still in really like Italians just won silver medal at the Olympics, and they were the same junior ages as us, so that's pretty crazy. So we just found it really a blessing, and I was really really happy about my result, and I was the most happy about that I could do two clean routines and without bigger mistakes. That was the goal, and I did that. So I was pretty amazed about my performance.
Oh, that's amazing. In 19, you debuted as a senior for Team Hungary, and it was a
Yeah,
bit of an extra pressure because it was a pre-Olympic year. So Tokyo was already like next door, basically in 2019, and you
yeah.
competed in a few World Cups like Doha, Koper, Zombatelli at home in Hungary, and Paris. How do you assess that these experiences impacted your first year as a senior, the
So my
beginning of your
first year,
career? Like,
yeah, my senior career started horribly. That's the easiest word where I can use to it. I literally didn't know what happening with me because I had a really, really difficult and big routine coming up on the uneven bars, and after people saw me and the Europeans when I was junior, they were like couldn't wait to see me that what I'm gonna do when I turn senior. And I think that was the age
yeah,
16, 17 where I just started to be more in online and started to check out what's news about myself. And when I saw that everyone is like really wondering what I'm gonna do and everything, I didn't say it was a pressure and everything because it motivated me so much. But when we actually went to the first international senior competition, I was just looking around, saw gymnasts that I just watched on TV for like all these years that I've been doing gymnastics, and they are there in real person, and they are even saying hi to me and everything. Because if you are in a competition, you are there for a reason, so they are like treating you the same way as everyone else. They are really nice and everything. But we just go to have like breakfast and everything, and they sitting next to me saying hi, good morning, and like where the hell am I at? Like, oh, that's crazy. So I think this year, this first year, I was just literally just not myself, like out of mind, like tried to realize where I'm at, try to see if I'm like fit in here. Am I really good? Am I just here because I'm Hungarian and not many gymnasts um, could be in the big level in Hungary, or well, why am I here? Like I started questioning myself. So that was a really, really hard time in my career. Even I started growing, my body started growing, like my height started growing, everything started growing, and it just really offended my gymnastics in a bad way. So yeah, it was a hard time. Even in school, it was hard to like to separate school and gymnastics and do it together at the same time. Yeah, it was just really really hard. But then coronavirus came, and that's pretty bad thing happening, but it offended good in my career because there were no competitions in the beginning of 2020, nothing. We barely could train, and I think this freeless, like this, that I didn't have to like focus on anything, just to go to the gym, do what I can, and we will see like when the next competition is going to be. I think this free mindset helped me a lot. So I didn't have any pressure that you have to be ready on May, you have to be ready on June, because you are going to have Europeans. Like, didn't have anything. I was just grateful if I could train. So that was pretty much it. And I just saw that my body slowly started to get in shape, like in good shape. I felt like I started to like enjoy the trainings more and more, because I had more and more successes, because my skills were coming back. Yeah, everything were just start to come together, and not just
Yeah.
on bars. The other three apparatus started to like slowly like come up to bars,
Mhm.
and I was so happy about it. And when we find out that we are going to be able to go on the European Championships the end of the year, we were
Yes.
like going crazy. Like, we're like, this is our chance. We have to like get ready. Yes, go. I had so much motivation, and I didn't know who can come, who is coming, who is not coming. I didn't even care about it, to be honest. I just wanted to go there, do my
Yeah.
thing, and come back, because I really felt like this 2019 was just really wasn't my year, and I wanted to start the senior career all over again. So my mindset was like, okay, 2020 Europeans is going to be my first competition again in senior, so fresh start. And it started fresh, and it started amazing again. So I won two medals. I needed some time after to realize what happened with me, and yeah, I was just out of mind there, and I think that was the point where I just felt this success, and I felt like I want more about this success, and this success is motivating me after in my whole career until now.
Amazing. And in these Euros, I mean, COVID was very rough to everyone, like you said. But it's super nice that you just took this opportunity to like work on yourself, like to recover well. And in the end of this Euros, you got bar silver right after Zofia Kovacs, your teammate. But you got also a team bronze, which was
Yeah.
like the first ever for Team Hungary. How did those accomplishments? I mean, actually, what do those accomplishments mean for you and your teammates?
Well, after the qualification day, when we saw that we are capable of winning a medal, we were the coaches were trying to keep us on the floor because obviously that was, oh my god, like, is this actually happening? And
Yes.
at the same time, I saw that, I find out that I'm on the bars final with Sofia, and I also saw that there are like so many amazing gymnasts like Larissa Jordache and so many others, and I was like, okay, it's going to be pretty tough for me to get a medal on bars, but with the team it was pretty like. Touchable, and so yeah, the coaches tried to keep us on the floor because they told us that yes, there are hopes, but firstly you have to do the routines right. And yeah, that's when we realized that it's not over yet, so anything could happen. So we were just try to talk about the method, that what are we going to do? Am I going to do all around? Is it better if I only do bars? Because if I do bars, I'm practicing the bars before bars final, but is it going to be too much to do like three good routines and to like together, but two good routines before the bars final? So it was a little bit like a tactic, and we tried to find out how should it work. and we decided that I'm not going to do all around. I skipped beam, but I did the other three apparatus. And after the team final, I did well all of my three apparatus what uh, I was signed for, and when we find out that we won bronze, that gave us like so much motivation for me and Sophia for the finals, and for them, like there were my teammates who were pretty I don't want to say old, but in gymnastics old, Dorina, and we just realized that maybe it's going to be her last like big international competition, and finishing it with a bronze in team, that was crazy. And we even had like younger teammates too, and they started it with the bronze. We were there like after a long period of break, coronavirus, everything, and we ended up the year like right before Christmas for Christmas present with the bronze medal. It was unbelievable. But I couldn't I still had to stay on the floor because I had bars final coming up. Sophie had bars and walls final coming up. I also had floor final there, I just remember. And so yeah, it was pretty exciting, but I was like, anything happens in the finals is just going to be a gift after all this, because it's just unbelievable what's happening with us right now.
That's amazing. I was super happy with Team Hungary's medal
Thank
because
you.
it wasn't I don't know, like I always saw a lot of potential in Hungary because Hungary has had in the past a lot of very notable gymnasts like
Yeah.
Hiet Onodi, but individually you guys did amazing. But like as a team,
Yeah.
it kind of never worked so well. And
Yeah.
when you got that medal, I was like, finally Hungary has a team medal.
Yeah, and we are still, I think our problem is still this, that we have so many amazing gymnasts, but we are like, for some reason, there is no competition when we are healthy at the same time, and healthy and ready and be in our best shapes at the same time. So I think this is the hardest part for us, that if someone is in the best shape in April, then the others can be the best shape in October because we need them in April, you know? So it's
Yeah,
really hard to just set five gymnasts to do good at the same time. So I think
yep,
this is the hardest part for us, that to everyone to be healthy and ready at the same time for the same competition. But yeah, if we check out our team results, like in the past, even in last year, no, before, no, actually last year, we finished fourth with the team, and
yep,
it was a normal big European, so it wasn't even like after virus or something. So I think that was even a bigger result as a team. So I think
yep.
it shows, and even that we had three individual quotas to the Olympics shows that Hungary is coming back again, and
Mhm.
slowly coming back in the big teams, you know.
Yeah, I agree absolutely with you. Like, I'm from Brazil, so I've been following Brazilian gymnastics for a long time, and we
Same with them.
have the
Yeah,
same
definitely
problem.
same with them.
Like, if you see our team that was bronze medalist this year, it's the same team that was in Rio, basically. So we took 8 years to have all of them actually like healthy and combined. Anyways,
Yeah.
it's a rough ride.
Yeah, I remember I watch Brazil all the time. I love the girls. They have amazing personalities. So it's really nice to connect with them and everything. And I watch their gymnastics all the time. And I remember that 1 year after, I was like talking with my coaches that who do we expect like in the team rankings and everything, and we were saying the teams, and we didn't say Brazil, and it wasn't because Brazil is not good or something, but back in the years it wasn't like medal capable. But
Mhm.
then at the end of the conversation we were like, wait, here's Brazil, like they wasn't really here before, but they are here now, and they, I feel like just think about the gymnasts. They are really
Yeah.
good. They could be capable of. And then they came out like second or something like that. We were like, damn, like where did this came from? Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty shocked about this too. Yeah.
Like, it still baffles me that we didn't qualify a team to Tokyo. We went only with Rebecca and Flavia. And was 2021, 2022, we were fourth in the world already. In 23, we're second. And
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just like
Yeah.
a matter
Exactly
of
what I'm talking
combining,
about. Yeah.
just a
Yeah.
matter of
One day
combining, like,
Brazil. Yeah. One day Brazil is there, but not like in that high level. And the next year we see Brazil's here. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
where did they came from? Damn, yeah. And they still keep up these amazing results. And I saw the juniors and I saw the little gymnasts there in Brazil, and they are also coming. I see them coming. So I hope I can watch them when I retire and everything, and I can say that I've talked with you and and we were waiting for them to come.
yeah, we have a lot of new talents coming, and we are super excited about them.
Yeah, me too.
In 2021, you competed at European Championships in Switzerland, right? And it was also qualifying to the Olympics. You made the
Yeah.
all-around final. You ranked initially 32nd, and then you improved to 16th. You jumped like 16 places,
Yeah.
and it was kind of impressive. How was that years for you? Also, it was like closed doors, no crowd, right?
Yeah, yeah, it was. It was definitely a competition to remember, because first thing that we found really, really impressive, that there were no audience, but there were like screens, and we could see our family members and people who are important to us there, their faces, and we saw that they are watching. And just find it really impressive that someone just came out with this idea, and how good this offend the gymnast, like, because I felt like I went in, I was nervous, I was like going crazy a little bit, that, okay, Europeans, you have to do good, be calm and everything, and I saw the screen, and I screen, yeah, and I felt like, damn, I'm feeling so much better now. I can see them, I can see they're like cheering for me and everything, so I already had like better mood. And then it wasn't, I can't say that it was my my best competition, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't
Yep.
bad. It could have been better, but wasn't bad at all. Um, and at the end of the qualification day, we saw that I didn't make all around final. Unfortunately, I was hoping for it and everything, but we didn't make it. And my coach told me that wait a little bit, because in the all around anything could happen, because many
Yes.
gymnasts are like not like do the final or withdraw for the final. So we will see and everything.
Let's wait a bit.
And yeah, yeah. And the day before the final at night, I can clearly remember that it was around 9 or 10 p.m., so pretty late. I was already ready to bed. My coach was knocking on my door, and she told me that get your mind ready because you are in the final. And I was like, whoa, what? She told me yes. She was thinking about telling it to me in the next morning, because she was afraid that if I can't sleep. But she said no, she couldn't wait, and she wanted me to get my mind into competition mood again, like as quickly as possible. So she told me that, and I didn't feel nervous. I didn't feel anything. I just felt like that's a gift again, and that's another opportunity to show that I'm here and I'm good. And when the other shock came was that my coach showed me the start list, and I just find out that I'm actually replacing Larissa Yordakia, and she was finishing in the first six. I don't know which place, but here somewhere. So that meant that I am going to go with the first group, which meant I'm going to start on vote against and next to the biggest stars. And So yeah, and I remember I was the first on vote as well. So I was like, okay, act cool, act you're not even surprised that you're here, and just try to do your thing. And to feel that everyone else, the stars who are just going to win the actual competition, is cheering for me, saying, let's go, like clapping after my routines. It was just an incredible feeling. And I went home from these Europeans with amazing memories, and I felt like I am more than when I came here with, if you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was a competition to remember, definitely.
That's very good to hear. Very good. I mean, when I saw that I placed 16th, I was like, "Oh, that's actually very nice." Especially considering that you're not even supposed to be in that final, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
like it's a lot of pressure, and you were like super young back then,
yeah.
and it was super nice. Like,
Thank you. Yeah,
and going through 2022, you guys Hungary qualified to World Championships. You competed well in Munich in that Europeans. You qualified. I actually was at European Championships. I attended in
really,
person. Yes,
really nice.
I remember that Hungary had a few falls and on beam, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm pretty
But
sure on Beam, because Beam is our like monster
yeah,
apparatus.
yeah. But I was super happy that you guys managed to qualify to World Championships, and you placed 14th as a team. It was a very like nice placement there.
Yeah,
In,
yeah, it was. Yeah, it was, especially because we set up with like our best team. Like Sophia could only do two apparatus. I could only do one apparatus because I had a really big foot injury,
yep.
and the other gymnasts were like, they were ready but not in the best shape. So we were going to these world championships like, we don't know what are we going to do, but just try to do our best. And in the competition we literally did our best, like everyone. I think we only had one fall, and it wasn't even counting because four gymnasts were competing and only three scores were counting at the end. So we were pretty amazed and shocked about our performance there, but we were super happy about. And I had really big responsibility there, because my federation told me that they give me a chance and they send me to this competition even though I can only do bars, because they trust in my bar routine, and they counted that if I do my bar routine I can give more points to the team than if they send another all around gymnast. So there
Mhm.
was a little bit of pressure that, okay, they send me for one apparatus, but then I have to do good there.
Yeah,
And thank God I did a really good, clean routine there. So that was 3 points to the team.
yeah,
So yeah, I was pretty happy about it at the end. Yeah.
super cool. And it was also like very close to the Olympic qualifications, and 12 countries qualify. You were 14th. So how was like your excitement? I don't know if excitement is the word, but like how was your mindset? Like, oh my God, we can qualify a team to the Olympics. Or did you, I don't know, like what was in your mind back then?
I think after that we find out this result, I think everyone from the team went like this, like no listen to anyone, just to each other, to the coaches, and trust the process. I think this was the whole team's like best preparation ever, um, until the end of the preparation, because just the day before we flew to Antwerp to the World Championships. Unfortunately, Sophia had a really big injury. ACL injury, and we just couldn't believe it. Like, we were in our best shapes ever. The whole team, finally, everyone healthy at the same time, even in the most important competition. And we have really, really big chance to qualify as a team to the Olympics. It didn't happen in over almost 20 years, which is crazy. So we couldn't really believe it, that what is happening with us again, that why is it
Yeah.
happening with us. And but after, we were so upset, but we just looked at each other, and we just told to each other that we are not just going to do it for ourselves anymore, we are going to do it for Sophia as well.
Yeah.
And I think this just motivated us so much. And I think this competition couldn't end better for us, because everyone was doing their 100%, even me. And this, that we finished 15th without Sophia, without our one of the best gymnasts, it really showed us that if she's there, we're probably in the Olympics with the team,
Yeah.
which was pretty heartbreaking, but good at the same time, because
Yeah.
it shows the progress and everything, and
Mhm.
keep motivates us. But it was a heartbreak at the time, because we were like, why? So yeah, it was our best competition, but the worst at the same time. It was pretty like emotional roller coaster. That's how I can describe it.
You mean Antwerp, right? This one.
Yeah, definitely
And,
Antwerp.
and Antwerp had also like the official mistake that. Do you want to talk about it or?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I was actually like, this story is that crazy that we could like do a Netflix documentary about it,
Yes.
because that's pretty crazy what happened
I
with
tr-
me.
I tried to summarize things here. You can correct me if I'm wrong, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so basically, like the situation for teams without a full team spot, which was like Hungary because you guys placed 15th, there was a maximum of 3 individual places allowed. And Bettina, she qualified in the all around. Hungary got this non nominative spot for placing 15th, and a third place for the highest eligible gymnast ranked on each apparatus, but only one per NOC, only one per country, right?
Yeah.
You were the one on bars, and a
Yeah.
teammate Change was on vault.
Yeah.
And like since both of you were the highest one, they applied the tiebreaker, and you got it because you had 13.866 and she got 13.5.
Yeah.
However, there were two withdrawals for vault finals. Jessica Gadirova from Great Britain, and Jocelyn Robertson from the US. And the FIG called the first and second reserve. And the second was a teammate. And since she made the finals, she became the highest ranked Hungarian. And the placement just switched. But it wasn't her fault. It was the FIG
No,
mistake.
definitely wasn't her fault. No.
They just forgot that Jocelyn Robertson was American, and and yeah, it was a mess. How was
Yeah,
it for you?
yeah.
Like,
Well, yeah, this is basically what happened. So it was, I think this week was the longest week of my life, because the qualifications were happening on Monday, and the individual quotas were announced on Sunday. So we had a whole week to wait. Um, so the first, when we realized that we actually have 4 quota places, we just knew that we are going to it's either going to be Chenge or me, because we have one for the team, we have one for the all around, and we have two for the apparatus. And so we knew that there is only one going to go for the apparatus. Even it was hard to just realize that in the all around, my teammate Lily got the spot, but I was 1/10 under her. So 1/10 and I got the all around. So that was pretty heartbreaking for me too. But I was like, okay, it is what it is because there's the bars one. So hopefully I can get that one. Um, so yeah, we just find out that there's a tie break that they have to decide, and I was checking the FIG rules all day. Like I can even say to you like everything because I was checking it all day, that how are they going to decide between us, and I couldn't see it otherwise, just that I am going to get the spot. And it's actually not because my score was higher, it's because they were checking like chances, because there were only 33 gymnasts who were doing two votes, but there were 153 gymnasts doing bars.
Yep.
So that means that I have less chance to make that result that I just made than Changa has on votes. So this is how are they deciding. But this goes to me obviously because there were way more bar routines than votes. So I was like, okay, so if three gymnasts not get injured, that I am going to the Olympics. And to be honest, if we are going to be honest, it's pretty rare that in world championships or that big competition, three gymnasts got injured. That like
Yep.
it's pretty rare. So I was, I'm not saying I was calm because obviously we still had to wait until the announcement, but I was like, okay, hopefully nothing goes wrong. And then the world final were coming up. And at the hotel, we were already seeing Jessica Gadirova at the hotel at breakfast, and her whole leg was just taped and couldn't even walk. And we were looking at each other like, what happened with her? Like, yesterday she was not fine. Like, what happened? We didn't understand the whole thing. But there I just realized that okay, she's not going to be able to participate in the final. So I was like, okay, one gymnast minus, but I was like, that still should be fine for me because two more needed. And then we find out that Jocelyn was not able to do the final. But then I was still like calm because I remember that Lian Wong, the other American gymnast, was there like before Chenga in the rankings, even though she wasn't in the start list because there is this two per country rule, and she was the third American. But I thought that the rule was if an American goes out from the final, the other one can go in because there is two Americans again. So that was in my head. So I was like, okay, that can be a problem that she's not in the final because she's just going to replace by her teammate. And then the competition were coming up. Obviously, Changa was getting ready. We were sharing rooms in this competition, so yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It was wrong.
It was wrong, yeah. But yeah, we just tried to like handle it right and not showing emotions to each other because obviously I knew that she wants to go to the Olympics. I want to go to the Olympics. So
Right.
that's just the best situation.
Mhm.
But obviously she was getting ready because she was a reserve. So anything could happen. And then we were going by the bus to the competition hall, and she got the call that the new start list came up without the injured gymnast, and she's name is actually on the list. And I was standing on the bus and I could just like fall. Like I was like, how? Like I didn't understand. Like, how is this possible? Like, am I the one who is wrong in this? Am I the one who is not understanding it right? And so I went online on Twitter, and everyone was writing that how is this possible? Like, where is Leanne? Like, where is Leanne? Like, and how is this gonna offend the quotas? Like, everyone was questioning the same thing what I did. So I was like, okay, let's see. what's happening. And then when we entrance in the warm-up hall, I saw Lian doing the warm-up. So that got me even more confused, because why is she doing the warm-up if she isn't even on the start list? So
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't handle myself. I asked her coaches that, sorry, but is she in the final or she's not in the final? Because I see that she's doing the warm up, and they told me there has been some mistakes. So, but they are already working on it, and they are pretty sure that Lian is going to participate in the final. So I was like, okay, I'm not crazy. I probably understood the rules right, so everything should be fine. But I felt a little bit sorry for Changa at this time, because I think that's the worst thing that someone can do, to tell you that you are in the final. That means you have Olympic quota, you have verse final, you have everything, and the next minute they
Mm-hmm.
tell you that no. So I was
Yes.
like, that's going to be tough for her, but it was tough for me too to find out that she is in the final. So that was a really really bad situation. And then, like minutes later, they released the new start list, and it was 9 gymnasts on the start list, and they with Chenga's name on it. And I was like, what is happening? Like what now? I remember my mom was calling me that what now, and it was different situation in every minute, and I was like, mom, I literally don't know what's happening. Like, I just call you after the competition. So I was assumed that some mistakes has been going on here, but I didn't know that whose fault was that. Like, who is the one who is not supposed to be in the final? I didn't understand anything. um, so after the competition, I just had a hope that if Chenge is the one who was not supposed to be in the final, that FIG is going to watch this out, and maybe when it comes to the decision of the Olympic spot, they're going to watch that Chenga like wasn't. I mean, she was in the final, but she wasn't supposed to be in the final, and they gave the quota to me. That was my hope deep inside, but I just,
Yeah.
I just started to realize that it's pretty impossible. So the
Yeah.
next day, when I saw that there is not my name on the paper, that was a heartbreak again.
I imagine.
I was like, I'm the most packing gymnast in gymnast history. Like, how could this happen? But then after we went home, um, there was this last chance, the quota that we got for the team, this non-nominative spot, and we were already asking the federation even after the world championships that what do I have to do to get this spot? Like, do I have to win any competitions? There are going to be any like competition between me and the girls who they set up, or what do I have to do, because I want it more than anyone else, I think. And they said this is pretty sure that they are going to decide between me and Sophia. But they couldn't give me any like anything. They couldn't tell me anything what to do, because they said that Sophia is having the recovery now, so they don't know what is the time that they can expect routines from Sophia, which is completely understandable if we Sophia's side, but it's not really fair on my side, because I go to trainings, but I don't know what am I training for. Like, we knew that there is going to be Europeans coming up, so we knew that I will need a good shape, but without any like direction
Assurance.
to go,
Yeah.
it was pretty hard. So we were talking with my coaches, and we came up with the idea to take as much competitions as we can. So if I participate in a lot of competitions, the federation is going to see that I'm always ready, and I always make good results, and I can upgrade my bar routine, bar score, and everything. So that was our method to do for the half year. So yeah, we started the competitions already on February, and everyone could really see the progress on bars because my scores were like almost a point higher than it was before, a year before. I did work on my difficulty. I did work on my execution. I did work on my all around. Like that was, I was just in the gym every day, all day, all I could see is this Olympic Games and this goal that I have to go there, and but it at the same time was really good because I love to be in the gym. I loved that I'm working for the Olympics and it's that close now. And even though quota is not mine yet, I knew that I am going to do everything I can to make that happen. So after the competitions, Europeans were coming up. I was so excited about it because I was in a really, really good shape, and I was like, I felt like I can hope in a medal again on bars, and I just couldn't wait for the competition, and so we went there to Rimini. Sophia still couldn't come because her recovery wasn't there yet to compete. But I was so excited. I was really looking forward to compete, and I started it with a really, really good qualification. I finished 10th in the all around, which is nearly my best result yet in the all around. And I also made the bars final with a routine that wasn't perfect at all. So I was like, that's a progress again, that I don't need a perfect routine anymore to be in the final. I just need a hit routine to be in the final. And that I finished 10th, that was pretty surprising to me because I knew that I'm good in all around. Like, we can't say that I'm bad, but if someone mentions my name, I think everyone can all they can think of is my bars, not really the all around, and even myself. So when I saw that I'm in the first 10 best gymnast in Europe, I was like, okay, I think we can't call me anymore bar worker. So yeah,
I'm an
that
all
that
around there.
yeah, that felt pretty amazing to me. So I couldn't wait until the bars final. And in the bars final, it pretty seemed, if I hit my routine, that I probably going to medal. We just didn't know that if I hit the routine, it's going to be silver or bronze. And that was a pressure, definitely. But I felt pretty confident. I felt pretty good. I couldn't wait to perform. But unfortunately, a mistake coming up in this final, which was pretty unfortunate because after I saw the scores and everything, I really felt like I should have been there in the podium.
Yep.
But yeah, it is what it is. So after we just I came home from the Europeans with good feelings. Like, it was the bar final wasn't the best, but the qualification was really good. So I didn't come home like disappointed or anything because I was still so motivated about the Olympics. And yeah, we were keep doing the competitions and everything, and we slowly could see how Sophia's knee was going, and it was really confusing because sometimes she said it's much better now, but sometimes she said it's really not that good. So we didn't know what to expect. And the federation told me that there is no competitions going to happen between us. They are going to decide on who is better right before the Olympics. I was like, okay, I didn't know how are they going to do that because, like, they're just
Yep.
looking at us and I see you are better. I didn't understand that, but I was like, okay, if no competitions, then no competitions. So we the whole plan was to be ready and be in the best shape for the Olympics. And I remember I was home and I already finished with the season and finished with the competitions. All the Olympics was only left. And I got a call from my federation that they were thinking, and they ended up making a decision that they are going to set up a competition in 2 weeks that is going to decide between us. And I was shocked because I that's not fair. Like, if they telling this to me months before that you have to be good and you have to be ready in June 15th, then it's fair because, okay, then I'm going to get myself ready until June 15th.
Yep.
But so you're telling me 2 weeks before the competitions that do in the then be in the best shape of your life in 2 weeks, that is not fair, I think. I find it not
I
fair
agree.
because
I agree.
Sophia, she knew that she's going to be doing these competitions. Like, she knew it like way before. And I was like, okay, I can't do anything. I have to go because if I not go, I'm not going to the Olympics. If I go, then I give a chance to it at least. So I tried to get myself together, but I really, like, we wasn't in the part of my preparation for the Olympics where I was in 100%. Like, I was doing routines, but not my planet hardest routines. So I was like, just do something. So I was asking them that if I have to do all around. They said no, they don't care about the all around because Sophia is only able to do bars because her leg is still not the best. So I was like, okay, she's still injured. Then why is it a question? Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. Okay, but I didn't want to judge anyone. Like, obviously, if Sophia is much better on bars than me, then why would they not send her? Like, understandable. Okay. So I tried to get myself ready. We went to this competition in Romania. And on the first day, I did my qualification routines, which difficulty was 6.0, which is lower
Mhm.
than what I'm capable of do. And her difficulty was exactly the same. I hit my routine. I got 14.05, and she unfortunately had 3 falls, which ended up her not being even in the final. She was first reserve, but there was not too many gymnasts, so she placed 9. So the end
Yeah.
of this day, I was like, okay, there's nothing, literally nothing can happen right now because she's not in the final, so the spot is mine. Like, nothing could go wrong. And I remember my parents was already like happy, and I was like, wait. Like, many things happened in this half year. Let's wait until tomorrow, until the bars final, and then we will see what happens. So I woke up, I go to the bars final, and everyone started doing the warm up. So I was happy. I was like, okay, everyone is healthy, everyone has legs, everyone has arms, everyone is alive, so everyone can do the final. And 30 minutes before the bars final, I remember Filipa Martins, the Portuguese gymnast coach, came to Sofia's coach that she feels sick, so she's not going to do the bars final. And in this moment, this was 30 minutes before the competition. I can't even describe how I felt. Like, I was like, God, for some reason, don't want me. Don't want to see me there because that is that is just crazy. Like,
Yeah.
that is can't be happening. I couldn't even know. I couldn't even say anything to because no, there's no way that
Yeah.
some things like that happened. But I was like, okay. I try to not think about this, and try to do my routine the best way I can. Like, it. this situation offended me so much. Like I couldn't even think of anything else before my routine, that just that if she even got 1/10 higher than I do, she is going to be the one who is going. And it was way too big pressure for me. So I had a fall uh, on the bars, and she hit the routine. And she score was 14.2. So 1.5 times higher than mine was in the qualification. So the federation told us clearly that that is clear that she is going, because she just won the this competition.
Yep.
And after that, that was my biggest heartbreak in my life, I think, because I found it a little bit unfair, because it's not about Sophia at all. Like I was I wasn't I didn't want to take this away from her, because she just did what, like, if I was in her shoe, I would do the same thing, like just grab the opportunity and do the routine as good as I can. Like I would do the same thing. But if you see my side, they didn't tell me even one advice that what do I have to do to get this spot. They told me that this competition happening 2 weeks before the competition. I did 12 good routines in the half year, 12, and 10 was a hit. I had two falls, one in the European final and one in this Romanian final,
Yeah.
but 10 hit routines. I went higher than 14 several times. I even got 14.6 two times. And
In Italian nationals, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And Sophia needed one single hit routine to
Yep.
be in the Olympic Games. And this is what I didn't find fair, because I did 12 routines, so many competitions, tried so hard, been there, been too close so many times, and one mistake for me, and you are not going.
Yep.
And it wasn't like Sophia was here on bars and I was here. It was like pretty even between
Yep.
us. Like it wasn't big, like she wasn't much better than me. We even had the same difficulty. She had a bigger routine coming up, but I had a bigger routine coming up. They could even sew it in the first competitions. So that was just a heartbreak, and I didn't know how am I going to get myself together after this, and how am I going to find the motivation. But I have a tattoo says that everything happens for a reason, and I try to put this mindset in my head and try to accept that for some reason this isn't the Olympics that I'm meant to be there for. But I don't know, maybe there is a reason why am I not, but I will find it later. So that was the mindset that I tried to follow after all this, but that was heartbreaking, actually.
Can imagine, like, we talk about not only Brazilian gymnastics in our podcast. That's why we have these segments in English, and we talked about the your situation and the Rome Dream Trophy in
Yeah.
Romania. And we're like, oh my god, what's going on? Because I mean, we could feel that wasn't fair. I mean, not Sofia is an amazing gymnast. I mean,
Yeah, definitely. You
I'm a
can't
super
take
fan of
that
her,
away from her. Yeah.
and she fought with her best, right? She did what she could do, like. But your situation was like, damn.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It wasn't just like, oh, yeah, I just did one competition and see what's going on. That wasn't the whole story. The whole story was this whole 9 months that I had to go through until to be able to do this competition with Sophia, and this whole situation that withdrawals, injuries, sickness. I was thinking that to get a tattoo to my head and say like Vidra, or I don't even know what, because I was like, No, there is no way. There's this many bad things could happen with one gymnast. Like
Yeah.
how?
But like in the end, you I mean, unfortunately, Zofia was got injured again before the Olympics,
Yeah.
but you got your call, right? I mean, I'm gonna
Yeah.
cut this from the final episode, but when I heard you were you were called, I was like, if I were her, I wouldn't go down. But I was like,
Yeah.
I mentioned this in the podcast. I was like, if I were her, I was like, no, not now. After all this,
Yeah. Yeah.
but like, yeah, in the end, you went to the Olympics. You had your Olympic experience. You did only bars, but take me back to that moment. What happened? What crossed your mind when you landed
Yeah.
at Berlin this
Yeah.
month? You were
Well,
super
so
happy. We could see like there
yeah.
was a movie going through your head right now. That
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah. Well, so after the Rom Gym trophy, the federation told me that I still have to train and I still have to be ready because I'm reserved. I was like, great. That's the worst thing that you can ask from me, but that's my job. I have to do what I have to do. So I went to the gym, and for 2 weeks I was suffering, literally. Like I I promise you, I tried. I tried to do routines. I tried to still like keep myself, my body in shape and everything, but that couldn't be happening. Like how? I didn't have any motivation. I was sad. I was depressed. Everything was just bad and hard, and I didn't even want to go to the gym, not even to do routines and then not fly. Like how? That was the hardest 2 weeks of my career, I think. And after the last week, they flew there to Paris on Monday, and the competition were happening on Sunday. And on Monday, they told me that I can stop training because there's no coming back now, like they are there. And we didn't know that there's a rule that if anyone got injured there, I still have a chance to go. So I stopped gymnastics, like I mean stopped training. Um, but I was physically there in the gym, but I didn't do anything. I was just stretching to do some conditionings, talk with the coaches there to just be in a good atmosphere, but I wasn't training at all for a week. And then on Thursday night, the podium training was happening. And pretty late, I think after 10 p.m., I saw the news that Sofia unfortunately got injured in the podium training. I didn't know how serious that was. I didn't know if she like re-injured her first injury or it's a new one or what actually happened. I didn't know anything. I just saw that maybe she is not able to participate in the competition, and my phone were just going crazy. It was just ringing and ringing and ringing, and everyone was calling me, even family members, friends, close friends, far friends. Everyone was calling me that what's happening now? Like, are you going? Are you going? And I was like, calm down. I told everyone that don't make it like crazy. I'm not going. I cannot go. Like that's the worst thing that can happen because Hungary just lost a spot like this, but I can't go. Like they told me that there is no possibility and everything. So they were like, are you sure? Are you sure? I was like, yeah, I'm sure. So I went on Twitter again, and I just saw that everyone was asking the same question, that am I going now? And I was just like home, and I'm like, oh, I wish I could just write to them that unfortunately I'm not, but it's so sweet that everyone is so caring about this whole situation. Um, so I went home and I went to sleep. And I even had my girlfriend sleeping over my house, yes, with me, because she told me that she want to take me on a concert next day in Frankfurt, so I can just get my mind a little bit away from gymnastics, and maybe that maybe am I going to feel better a little bit. Um, And on Friday morning at 6 a.m., my phone was ringing. And I remember when I heard that and I saw how early it is, my heart just started beating so fast because I knew that something is happening. And when I saw that someone from the federation is calling me, I already knew that what he's going to say, and I didn't know if I should cry or scream, literally. Like I was like, hello. And he was like, sorry if he just woke me up because it's so early, but it seems like there's a possibility for you to come. So your plane is coming tomorrow. Are you ready to come? And I was like, what? I was like, wait. I was like, wait, I told him that 10 minutes and I'm gonna come call him back because I literally couldn't say, yes, I'm ready because I wasn't training for weeks now. I was in a worst shape ever. I was like, what am I going to do if I go to the Olympics? So I called my coaches. They were already in holiday. I called my coaches. I told them what's happening. One of my coaches I just heard that she was worried, like she felt the same things as I felt, but she told me that she's supporting me every way that I decide. After I called my other coach, the one who when I told you about to when the one who find me when I walked into the gym, and he was like, what, Zoya? There is no way that you are not going. Why are you even think about it? Like I was like, because I'm not ready. Like what am I going to do? How am I going to manage to do my routine? He was like, what? And he was even shouting with me that stop thinking about these stupid things in your head. You are going to the Olympics. That is your chance. This is what you worked for 13 years. You are going to do your routine well. He believes in me and he told me that it's okay that I didn't do it for 3 weeks. He just told me that that's inside you. You did it 100 times, and that is one last time that you have to do it for now, and you are going to be do it. So please call back the guy and tell him that you are ready and you are going. And after this call, I felt like yes, that this is what I needed, and this gave me so much motivation. So my head was like this after this, and I was like, okay, right now I don't know what's going to happen, but I have to do everything that I can to make the best and to just try to do the best out of this whole situation because that is crazy. So I straight after I went to the gym, and my coaches wasn't even there because they were in vacation. So I didn't know who is going to be there and everything. And when I got there, the media was already going crazy in my club. They were like, Olympian, Olympian. Everyone was like, okay, I have to train right now. Like, I'm so happy about this whole everything, but I have to train because I'm in I'm in trouble if I'm not.
Yeah.
So I asked all the coaches that they were like with little kids there to help me a little bit, to just watch me out. I have to do something. So I didn't try to do routine because I knew that that is not smart to just I'm not doing anything and then straight to the routine. So I try to do my elements first, do half routines first, and it was pretty hard, which was a little bit stressing, but that was pretty hard. And then even in the same day on Friday, I need to do doping control. I need to get my Olympic stuff. I need to get done papers. That was crazy. I was up, I think, until 11 p.m. because I needed to get everything done in one day. And every athlete had months for doing all this, and I had one day. So I just needed to get it done. And on the next day, next morning on Saturday, I had my flight to Paris. And I woke up, I felt like I'm ready. My family was so worried about me, but they were supporting. And I don't even remember the trip. I don't even remember anything because I was just thinking about that. What am I going to do on the competition? Try to memorize my routine, try to imagine my routine as much as I could. And when I got there, I didn't even remember the village. I didn't even have time to look around. They told me I have one training possibility on Saturday afternoon. So we went there, and that was the training where I attempted my first routine after 3 weeks. Um, Somehow I managed to survive the routine, but without landings. But that was hard. Like I felt like, oh my god, that's really exhausting. It
Yeah.
was hard. But then I just hoped that I am going to have another training opportunity on Sunday morning before the competition. I didn't have one, so we just went to this conditioning gym and just try to do some stretching, some conditioning, some just something. But in the afternoon, when I was getting ready for the competition, obviously I felt so nervous and so excited and everything. But I had a good feeling. Like all I could think of is that tonight, anything happens, I am going to be an Olympian, and that is
Yeah.
for forever. So
Yeah.
that motivated me so much. And when we went there and started to do the warm up and went to the bars in the warm up hall, I felt like it's much easier today. And I didn't understand why. And but it's probably because the competition, adrenaline, motivation, everything, and I felt like it's so much easier today. It was still hard, but much easier than the day before. So my first expressions with the audience, with the big gym and everything, was the competition. I didn't have podium training. I didn't have trainings there before, literally nothing. So that was kind of scary because I didn't even do any competitions like this before, not even Olympics. So I went there, full house. I was like, great. And we started on bars. And yeah, the reason why I only did bars is because I was completely replacing Sophia and she was only set up for bars. So I wasn't able to do all around. But yeah, I was going there and I was so nervous, but I was so focused at the same time. And after my routine, I didn't even remember my routine. I was just thinking about that I have to land my dismount somehow. I have to land it. And when I landed on my feet, and I realized that I hit my routine, I was just out of my mind crying because I think this whole year, this whole 9 months, craziness and roller coaster, what happened to me, it just came out after my routines. I couldn't stop crying. And so many people thought that I'm crying because something wasn't right in the routine or something like that, but it wasn't like that. That was happiness cry, definitely, because at this so many pressure, so many stress, so many heartbreaks, so many everything what was inside me just came out after it. And the way that it came out as a success, like one day before that, I couldn't even imagine that. So that was the moment of my life, and I am going to remember this for forever. So
Yeah.
that was the moment of my life. Yeah.
Yeah, like I could see that tears of joy. Like, oh my god, like she made it. And I don't know, like we followed your story for like, as I said, we've been reporting on this story for since Antwerp, and I just could understand absolutely like that it was a movie going.
Yeah. That I was thinking that that is worth a documentary film because I'm completely sure that I am the only athlete that like experiencing this whole thing that I just did, because that was crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, so I just have some shoot questions. I mean, we talked a lot.
Yeah. Sorry to talking too
No,
much.
no, no. It's amazing, amazing. Usually, English interviews are shorter, but I love to talk. So, and I love to, and I love that you're sharing your story with us. So it's super nice. I just have some shoot questions, so we and our listeners get to know you a bit better.
Okay.
All right. So, first one. So you can just answer whatever comes to your mind. Okay. So
Okay.
just easy. But I think that the first one is way too easy. An event.
Favorite events?
Yeah.
Bars. Uneven bar.
Of course. I mean, that was too easy.
Yeah.
A competition.
Olympics.
Yeah, but I mean, aside from Paris, I mean, that's
Okay. Let's say Antalya European Championships.
oh nice. Last year, 2023, amazing.
Yeah.
A skill.
Skill. Jäger salto.
It's beautiful.
Thanks.
Something you trained but never managed to compete.
Ooh. Double twist. Yurchenko double twist on what?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be beautiful because your full twisting your Yurchenko is beautiful.
Yeah. Hopefully it's coming one day.
Nice. A country you liked visiting with gymnastics. I mean, gymnastics trip or whatever.
Japan.
Japan is nice. It's
Yeah.
I've never been there, but it's on my list.
Yeah.
A gymnast you liked meeting in a competition.
Rebecca Andrade.
Rebecca Andrade.
Yeah.
Nice. Our listeners will love it.
Yeah, definitely.
Your role model in gymnastics.
I think Rebecca.
Really?
Yeah, she
nice.
is. Yeah, even
Cool.
even her personality, not just the gymnastics.
Yeah, she just became like a rock star here in Brazil. Like everybody knows her. Yeah, and she's super cool. Like I had a chance to talk to her a few times, like for the podcast, and she is just like amazing energy. I love it.
Yeah. She's really nice. Yeah.
What do you do to concentrate before competing? Like to keep yourself in your zone?
Listening to music mostly.
What kind of music?
Well, anything. Anything that I can sing. Hungarians, hip hop. I really like Drake. Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Favorite food?
Pasta. Yeah.
Like pasta is a classic, right? and since you compete in Italy, like I think it has.
Oh yeah, I loved it there. Pasta all the time. Yeah.
Amazing. Favorite music genre? You just said like hip hop.
Yeah.
In one word, how would you describe gymnastics?
That's hard one. No one ever asked me that before. Passion. Yeah.
Very good word. And Hungary or Magyarország?
Magyarország. Crazy.
Yeah, I've been to Budapest. It's amazing.
It's amazing, yeah, but crazy at the same time.
I would love to spend more time there, but I went to the thermal baths and also the Danube River, and I mean it's a lovely city.
Yeah, it is. I love it there.
I want to go back one day.
You are more than welcome.
Oh, thank you. And are we going to see more of Zoja in gymnastics? What are your plans for the upcoming quad? Do you have some like plans for LA?
Yeah, my experiences in Paris was like really, really intense and really amazing. So straight after the competition, I told myself that I want more about this feeling. So I will definitely try to be there in Los Angeles. And I even has a tattoo here.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, from the
That's
Olympics. And I always say that there is space on my other arm too. So I hope I can get one there one too one day.
amazing. And last question, just to end our interview here. What do you want to establish with your gymnastics for the next generations?
I think I my advice to them is just to love what they do. They I think if they love gymnastics and they love what they do, they can do amazing things there. You just have to love it because I love it and that's why I'm doing it.
Amazing. Zoya, thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing your story. It was super nice, and
Thank
it
you
was
so
really
much
nice to
for
meet you.
inviting me again.
No worries. It was a pleasure. Okay, and yeah, that's the end of the interview,
Mhm.
guys. Thank you very much for listening to us, and keep tuned for the next Roda Talks. We're gonna have some equally nice gymnasts talking to us in the future here.